Thank you for joining me for another Quick Hits conversation. I'm Dr. Robyn, aka Mental MacGyver. I provide luxury level high performance support and coaching to executives, founders, celebrities, and athletes. With me today, I have Jennifer Watson. She is a keynote speaker and coach, helping leaders heal and accelerate their influence by optimizing vitality, high frequency leadership, and transformational communication. I have Todd Karges. He has a background in project management and building agile development mindsets. He is a transformation and change management practitioner and a leadership development coach. And I have Dr. Mohan Ananda. He is a scientist, lawyer, serial entrepreneur, and author of the book Autobiography of an Immigrant, which has been translated into multiple languages. He is passionate about helping people succeed in business. The question I have today: are leaders responsible for fostering innovation and creativity on their teams? Todd, what do you think?
So my short answer, Dr. Robyn, is yes, they are responsible for fostering innovation and creativity on their teams. But more importantly, they're responsible for creating an environment where innovation and creativity can thrive. We've talked about what that looks like, right? So it's the ability to fail, the ability to do something nutty or to try something different or to experiment. And when I'm a leader and I've created an environment where all of those things are welcome, then innovation and creativity will naturally show up. So it's indirect, but I think that the big answer is absolutely 100%. It is a leader's responsibility to foster those things.
Okay. I love that you said that, Todd. In a study that came out, a survey after 2020, what teams, employees wanted from a leader, from an environment, was psychological safety. To screw it up, still be welcome. So I love that you said that. And I would 100% agree with you, Todd. And the other thing I would say is, I agree that we need to foster the innovation, the creation, but I believe one of the traits of a leader is knowing how to pull in the right people to be in that space. I think of like Henry Ford, he knew nothing about cars, or like Steve Jobs, who knew nothing about computers, but he knew the right people to bring in that needed to be a part of making this innovation and creativity happen, and who they were to balance out to create an environment that was fun and innovative and creative. So I believe it is our responsibility to create this environment to allow that to happen. Psychological safety, you can screw up if you want, because that's part of growing, but also bringing in the right people, knowing how to filter out through the weeds and bringing in so we can layer each other's gifts to make actually creativity and innovation happen more effectively. And I think Ford and Jobs had very great examples of that. If they knew how to pull in creativity and innovation into an environment in accelerated ways, and we can do that too.
This is my favorite subject, actually. I believe that the success depends upon innovation and creativity, without which you cannot succeed. So the leaders, whether it is the founders of a company or a CEO or whoever leads the organization, has to set an example of that's very important for the organization. So there are several aspects of it. One, of course, you need to have if you believe in growth, that is a must. If you are just doing something simple, then that may not be there. Then you have to take risks. The innovation is, you never can guarantee results. So creativity, innovation means you should think out of the box. You should do things and support, and you have to provide resources. You have to have the right type of equipment, right type of processes. So you have to be very supportive, and also, when somebody fails, you don't make that a big deal. That failure is a learning process. It will give additional opportunity to succeed. So the answer, as everybody said, it's not only yes, it is a must.
So I'm wondering, is it something that an individual leader can do within their team, or is there a larger cultural thing that has to happen to create this kind of environment?
Can it be both?
Both should be there. The individual leader has to have set by example, but then you have to bring in people and think as the culture has to be innovative.
I think too, I teach a lot about intuitive leading, Because it is this dance, everyone, with innovation creation, like let them fail, but when do you intervene? When do you encourage? When do we maybe help steer them the right direction? When you pull back? And I believe it comes from upper management, but I also believe it comes from the team. So I think that's honestly practice sometimes, and just that creative dance of pulling in, pulling out. I think you mentioned, Todd, just like, what are the roles of the leader? I think it's changed a little bit in 2020 in innovation and creation, just because there's just been so much that's shifting people's minds, and safety and worry and failing. And there's just different layers there. But I will say innovation and creation, you do need to allow other leaders to come forth, let them fail, not micromanage. But there are times you have to come back and flip the burgers with them.
And Jennifer, you touched on something that I think is really, really important, because there's a cohort of leaders, corporate leaders, who believe that, and I have been one of these people, by the way, so I'm not pointing fingers, who believe that the way to culture, or the way to foster that culture of innovation and creativity, is to start the ball rolling. To sort of, here's my idea. But you know what? Once I do that, that can squelch a whole bunch of other creativity that happens. So my role as a leader, I see it really as creating the foundation and making the platform first. And then if I'm invited in by the team whose responsibility is innovation and creativity, or if for some reason I need to course correct or whatever, right? But it's a really delicate balance. It's something that needs to be done thoughtfully and intentionally, rather than here, let me start, because all of a sudden that can be that's the idea.
No.
Leaders have to be accessible. I think that's an open kind of platform. In addition to that, you should delegate decision making. You have to give them the opportunity to take risks, meaning they have to make decisions, and sometimes it fails. Culture should be such that this organization, which really wants innovation, so that can only come from the leaders.
How do you, I love Todd, you touched on, and then Mohan, you mentioned it as well. How do you provide guidance without squelching ideas?
We talked about this, how you introduced me, Dr. Robyn, but I believe in what I call kind of next level communication. And that includes nonverbal, everybody. Posture, your tone. When you're stepping into a team meeting, are you inviting? Are you open? So I believe to do that, you do need next level communication when you're stepping in. Body language, eye language, tone, and yes, words that they are sometimes aware of, sometimes not, and allows them to start the creative juices going. You see them start feeding off each other. So I would say communication to me is probably one of the biggest pivotal points to help this process of not squelching other ideas, but giving them ideas from you as well.
I used to do something nutty when I was in that situation. When I was leading teams and I wanted them to feel safe and I wanted them to feel like I was participating rather than leading, if I did something goofy or if I did something dumb, I would invite them to fire me. It just lets off some steam. It's really, really funny, and they can fire me. I can't fire them, of course. And I would challenge them to do that at least once a month.
As a leader, you should invite suggestions, invite innovative projects from the team. Rather than telling them what to do, you should get the information to them. And also you should be ready to make the investment, the right type of investment. Because it's everything, especially in something which is very novel, may take a lot of resources. And if you don't have that, then the innovation may not happen. So you have to allocate certain budget. For example, the companies, even IBM today, is not that innovative. It was, but look at Xerox, look at Kodak. I mean, these are huge companies which did not really make the investments in the right area at the right time. And there are a lot of technology companies which were very big, is nothing there. I mean, not what they could be. So the leaders have to take that responsibility and be very, very much proactive and bring the team to accomplish what they want to do. And also you should reward people, like when you apply for patents, those who have done, they should get the credit. I mean, people, there's only just monetary compensation. They also like to be appreciated. I mean, so people want to, I mean, they should be writing papers and publishing, if it is not something trade secrets, but outside of that, they have to feel like they have accomplished.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Well, that is 10 minutes. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me. And I look forward to speaking to each of you again very soon.